Hey guys, John Girardi here, specialized hypnotist. I don't like to call myself a hypnotist, but I like to call myself a hypnotic specialist, and there's a good reason for that. First of all, I do not believe in subconscious hypnosis, hypnotics. I do not believe in unconscious, whatever the heck that means, and I don't believe in trance. Um, you know, Hypnotics is very, very special, and you really have to understand that it is actually a visual art, and always will be, okay? It's not so much language. Um, the language that you use in real hypnotics has nothing to do with words. So I know it sounds funny, but it is nonverbal hypnosis, and it's even storytelling. You can actually speak in other languages on this planet, everywhere from Oriental to Spanish, without using words. The English, you can't do that. You can only use English to talk about the language of non-words. You can actually speak non-word language in Spanish, Oriental, African, stuff like that. The ancient ways of Latin and things like that. But not English. English is the most asinine language there is, really. Excuse my French, but it is. And this video is a very, very special video I'm going to tell you about today, and the things I'm going to talk about. And it is how any trouble that you will ever have, heart condition, skin disease, a back pain problem, any issue, even if you stub your toe, diabetes, anything. And it is based on a hypnotic way, okay? This hypnotic way is one single mental trouble, okay? That is any problem you will ever have, all right? And it causes any problem you will ever have. And they're doing a lot of research in how the body is the brain, okay, which it is, and, everywhere from pain not being real, okay, to how we can think in a certain manner and we will be sick, okay, and that is a very known fact that is real, okay. So, the one mental trouble is not mental illness. Okay, in that sense, you don't have to call it mental illness. You call it a mental trouble. Okay? Now, when you get rid of this mental trouble, you will be good to go. All right? And when you diagnose this mental trouble as a hypnotics practitioner, as a hypnotherapist or doctor, all you have to do is feed it the knowledge it needs to become that mental trouble, okay, as anything. It doesn't matter, okay. You diagnose that, okay, by art, mathematics, geometry, sound, physical spirit without holy, and physical religion without God. Okay? And then becomes the miracle ways of hypnosis. Okay? And it becomes an artistic way, a geometry way, just like in sacred geometry and all those things. All right? It becomes an Ayurvedic way, an acupressure way, an acupuncture way. Okay? Massage, of course, but also how you feed this diagnosis, okay, is that you ask the certain kinds of questions to the client to find up this mental trouble that's already there, but you find up the rest of it so you can work with this mental trouble as art, religion, spirit, math, geometry, and sound. Okay? And then you do my teachings in Hypnotics to get rid of it, which is all my other videos. Okay? I have a lot of martial arts videos, but there is the Carl Jung Hypnotics that I founded, where you shape the pendulum that you build in a certain manner, in a certain configuration and shape, and that shape cures the person. You could then bring, founded from the pendulum into massage, from the massage into a pill or an herb. Okay, and when they take, say, ginkgo biloba, you have to talk to them as ginkgo biloba allows you to talk to them and massage them. Okay. Also, you want to add the fact that DNA is involved in this, and DNA is their brain and their body. Then you want to add the fact that we can be other kinds of DNA, literally, by math, by art, by sound, religion, spirit, and geometry, because it's the appearance of our body. We're a color, we're a shape, we're mathematics, we're sound, physical religion, and physical spirit, so that's our brain and the rest of our body. Okay, so you have to learn how to do type, style, facet, fashion, forms, and facet entailment does result. Cause entailment does result. It's not just cause and effect. It's the things it really entails as an implementation. That's a very important word. And a facet configuration. Okay? So how you configure your speech and your knowledge at this person is going to be how they react. Okay? Then you can add your massage. All right? You could add anything you wish. Okay? But it's just one mental trouble. All right? And you want to explain to them the areas of awakening, like a real awakening here, not a bunch of baloney. You want to understand how to speak about serenity. You want to understand how to speak about wellness and things that really, really help a person. Okay, you want to think about diet. You want to think about, things and diet medicine. But, you want to find out how smart the person really is. You want to find them to be smarter. You want to say you want to become smarter, and this is how you do it. Okay? Where people make themselves smarter, but it's not thinking yourself to be smarter. It has to be from the outside world, just like everything I just said. The pendulum. Carl Jung Achievement Geometry Hypnotics is probably the most important thing you'll ever hear in your entire life. Okay, and some other hypnotic specialties I came up with, because it's about imagery. It's about the black blotch illusionary shape that I then alter, okay, and there's no such thing as illusion anymore. And instead of a testing way, it becomes a curing way. Okay, then there's my hypnotic techniques that I come up with my body, where I'm pushing here. This is insane. I'm not getting anywhere until I take the top one off and the bottom one goes up in the air. Okay? As soon as you do that, you'll feel how your brain actually adapts to that technique. And you're not competing with yourself anymore. It's a reaction your body goes through. It's actually in a way called Damak. The Oriental way of hidden knowledge is founded to be used by humans. It's the definition for Damak in Oriental. Okay? And, when you push your hands together and you squeeze, but then you also push with your whole entire upper body. What way is not going to open up your hands, ever. Okay? A how way will, when you think Howism. Okay? And it's a facet way. How you think a certain type of number one will always be the answer. Okay? Because it is the answer. It's a certain type of the number one that answers any storytelling hypnosis. And that will take away that mental trouble. Okay? So really, that is something that anybody probably would want to know. All right? Because the brain is the body. And the reason why is because when you say you have a skin problem, and you take away that mental trouble, the mental trouble is any trouble. Okay? And the reason was, when you look at your arm, you can see your arm with your eyes, that then your brain says, oh, I have skin problems. Okay, but, when you take that trouble away, you just know you have to explain to them that. You have to say, when you diagnose it, the diagnosis finds the skin problem to be mental, and it will go away. Okay? Or any other issue. You can unclog a heart like this. All right? I've done it for myself. I actually do have a skin problem, and I take it away at 3/4 of the way with this. Okay? It's almost like I cure it and somebody's giving it to me. Okay? And I don't really, it's my personal business, but, and they're using some kind of, because I can do that to somebody. I know that sounds funny, but I don't use telepathy like I'm doing it with my brain only. Okay? No, I know how to do that with my hands, by the way, because I am a Demok master and doctor. Okay? I'm a Demok professor at that. But, when you think of like the men that stare at ghosts, no. You don't just, and you use telepathy, and you think you're just a brain without a body. Yeah, your brain is your body, but no, you have a body. So the secret to life in hypnosis is your hands. Okay? Always will be. The secret to life is your hands. How you are with your hands and how you know with your hands, okay, and to then do with your hands is the answer to everything. And I don't care where you come from. It doesn't matter if you come from outer space or another realm. It's always hands. Okay? Another dimension, I don't care. Okay? Because when you start to get into the facets, forms, and hows of thinking, okay, the facet does a result of thinking, okay, that means that your howism thinking is then founded as your how hand use. Okay, when you give a massage, you add we're going to say words to make it a little bit easier, okay? You add the words not to the people. People are not words. You add them to the massage. And an implemented facet does result way. Massage is the answer to any issue there will ever be. It's actually called, again, in such a little sense, Demok. Okay? It is, though. So, there is a Demok training, and is the massage in a certain sequence, in certain order, okay? So the body gets out of it. So how you massage yourself is how your body gets out of it. That's hypnosis too, though. And, when you take away that mental trouble, that's a good thing. Okay? And it will help people a lot. Especially when you explain to them that they can also think a certain type of DNA or a certain type of thought that is the whole entire body is DNA, which it is. Okay? Because of visual and how I'm talking to you. If they're going to, take a little swab and rub your cheek, yeah, they may not get some DNA, but they do it inside your mouth. No. It makes no sense, really. Okay? It doesn't. It's just a bunch of bullshit that they cover up. In a sense. Okay? They do, though. Even FBI has no idea about this. CIA knows probably, but they don't say nothing. What you want to understand is that how you talk to somebody, not what you say, how you say it, is going to bring their body to howness. And that's the most important thing you'll ever know. Okay, now a certain type of number 1, a certain color shade, okay, a certain shape type is the language of non-words. Certain spiritual thought, certain religious thought, okay? If you want to go by words, they're going to have to be how, as, or words, or you're never going to get nothing done. Okay? Ever. What? It's not going to do nothing. What's it not going to do nothing? There's no such thing as what. Alright? So really, how you should understand is that this one mental trouble, it's not words. You're not words. Your mental trouble is not words. And it's not from words. If you got verbally abused, okay, that didn't affect your words. You're not words. It affected your brain. Okay, everywhere from the level of screaming to the things said in a certain manner that affected your certain manner of your body. Because when you get taught words, you don't become them, you just remember them. That's it. Okay? Traumatization is not from words. It's from more than words. It's how your body, okay, reacts to words. Okay? Yeah, that's the answer. When you talk to a regularized therapist, they're sitting there trying to talk to your brain with words. It's never going to work. You're never going to get cured of mental illness because mental illness is not words. Mental troubles is not words. Okay? No, you're not words. You're a person, not words. Okay? And I'm going to keep saying this over and over. When you are in the military and you see a bad thing happen in front of you, that traumatizes you. It wasn't words. Okay? Then you fixed it. It came from the outside world. That traumatization you saw in front of you. So you fixed it with the outside world, with the way I'm saying in the video. What a shape does the achievement pendulum, a sequence does the achievement massage. Or even if you did it 3/4 of the way, it's better than a regularized bullshit therapist or doctor. Okay? And this doesn't involve medicine. Just good food and good herbs from CVS, literally. Okay? That's how you do it. Okay? Competition is going to happen there. When somebody sees a traumatizing experience come at them, they say, get the fuck out of here. Just excuse my French, but that's what they're going to say. Okay? Oh my God, get out. For that sake, they're going to see competition in front of them. Okay? When a military soldier sees one of his soldiers die right in front of him, okay, he sees that as competition because he saw that, and then he turns and he says, now it's time to compete. Boom! Right there. You got to get that the fuck out of your head. Competition has to be gone. Okay? But you also have to stop competing with yourself because that's what he just did. Competition was thrown in my face, and now I have to compete with myself, to compete with you, to compete with this, to compete with that. If you keep doing that, you're never going to get anything done because competition is insane. It's friggin' insane. When you compete and you push your arms together, you ain't getting nowhere. Nowhere. You're just going to sit there for the rest of the day until you take one away. Okay? That's one thing. Doing the same thing in the same way, expecting other results, is you competing with yourself all day long, doing the same thing. There's no such thing as competition. Okay? There's no such thing as the properness of this and that, and the expression of oneself honestly. Because when you try to express yourself honestly, your body, your thoughts, it's like you think you're not even here, like you're a lie where you have to be honest. No, you're not a piece of honesty that does more honesty, like you think you're absolutely perfect. Okay, and you can't make a mistake. You're not going to stumble down the stairs a little bit. You're not going to get into a car accident. No, I don't think so. All right, that's all bullshit, Bruce Lee, and the proper use of his brain. That's all bullshit. Okay, and I'm gonna say it like that because it's ridiculous. Okay, absolutely ridiculous. So, but on the calmer down sense of talking now, is that you've got to stop competing with that problem, because that's all you're doing. Everybody does it all day long. When you stop competing with the problem, okay, then you have a chance to eliminate the problem, which actually is no longer competition, because you eliminated the problem. Just like any kind of disease that has ever been cured, okay, has been eliminated from the planet, okay? So, that is a good thing. That's why when you do shape the pendulum, to say, you're shaping it so it eliminates either one issue or any issue infinitely, okay? Where you think there would be infinite issues. Do not tell me I don't know how to configure it, so you can forget about infinite issues really ever being here ever again, because I know how to do that. I can do it on my body. I can do it with a drawing and put it in front of you as a Jung blotch, okay, and it will show you. That is called Carl Jung Achievement Geometry and Configurations, Hypnotics, or even psychology at that, or imagery at that, okay? So how you do this is that I have really good outside the box thinking, which I do not like to call it. I call it visual knowledge. Okay? That's how I take from the outside world anything in front of me, and I adjust it so it will do absolutely anything I wish because of the adjustment and how it is. Okay? And it's not hard. All right? That's actually just to say how people skinwalk when they see a tiger. That's how they came up with Tiger Kung Fu, literally, okay? That's how they use claws. That's how the American Indians skinwalk into a wolf, okay? They see how the wolf lives in the wild, and they learn by their visual knowledge to do so and become a wolf, okay? So, that's the outside world will always be the answer to our issues. Because you eventually, when you get to the visual knowledge side and you start to adjust your way of things, like I was saying in the video, anything can be seen in front of you. Okay? Yeah, anything can be seen in front of you as noetic light. And anything is possible light can be seen in front of you. And it's doing it in front of you. That's cool. And I'm going to say noetic hypnotics with a video. Okay? Because I love noetic hypnotics. I do it all day. Okay? I'm clinical hypnosis, I stuff, medical, all that stuff. All hypnosis. Okay? And the things that I now have to add to hypnosis, people will say, thank you very much for this information. Okay? And you have to take that one mental trouble and get it out of your life. Even if you did it 3/4 of the way, okay, you will be happy, so happy you did so. Your body will feel so much better. Okay? You'll actually feel your heart unclog. Okay? But the mental trouble is not a what, it's a how. It's a how. It always will be a how. It is so. The what trouble that you think I'm talking about? No, it doesn't even exist. It's the how trouble. Okay? So it'll cure that how trouble on your skin and that how trouble in your arteries. Because it's the one how trouble that mentally says so. Yeah, it says so. So you want to take that says so away. That's it. So, that's the way it goes. So that's the end of the video. Look at my other videos, and you'll get maybe a little bit more knowledge and understanding on how to do this. Okay? If you went like this, right? If you went push, 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 goes up. When it starts going up, you start touching yourself in a certain order. Damak, it's called, remember. Because you can kill somebody like that. In a certain order, you touch them, they die because of the order. Because of how you touch. Okay? Because of. Okay? How you touch yourself in that certain order. Okay? You'll start to levitate because your hand just went up, and you're going to guide yourself the rest of your body up. And I know how to levitate because of that fact. I want to go up a little bit, but I don't want to go to the moon. I don't care. That one little bit of levitation gets a lot done for me. Okay? It makes me stronger because I actually know how to levitate metal up in the air. And it's not telekinesis, it's just levitating it up in the air. Because you know how to do, if you touch yourself in a certain order, you'll levitate the sucker right up in the air. And that means you can lift a lot more weight when you exercise. Because you're levitating it up with your body. You know how now. I taught that in my exercise video. Okay? I was a little bit vulgar in it because exercise, okay, is a very, it's the cover-up of the whole world. Exercising is a zillion-dollar industry. It's the most expensive industry there is in the world today because of all the other industries. And if we didn't have it, this place wouldn't even be here. The whole world. Everywhere from the military to fitness to sports, it's fitness. To the CIA fighting styles, to people teaching you in karate, to the health benefits at CVS, to the prescription companies. Welcome to fitness, the big cover-up. Okay? And I can actually teach you to be hypnotic for yourself with your self-hypnosis, where you're way better than fitness, where you're like a machine. Okay? I'm one dangerous martial artist, I'll say that right now. Okay? Everybody that knows me knows I am. Alright? And we'll stop talking about that there, but that's, that's what you want to understand is that the hypnosis I just taught you, you can get really, really good at, and you'll be a hypnotic specialist, better than therapist, better than the hospital, where this one trouble is your self-treatment every day. Okay? So, and don't get me wrong, if you're on medicine, I'm not going to let you get off that medicine. Okay? You're not going to get off of it because I say so. No, I'm not your professional doctor. This is a lessons video, first of all. And second of all, that's your doctor. When she says or he says that you don't need to be on your cholesterol medicine, then okay. But this is going to help you. Okay, and you can show them this video if you want to. Okay? Alright. Anybody, okay? And also, this is a helper. Alright? And you have to explain to your doctor first that you're doing this. Or, I'm not liable for any of that stuff. This is just to teach you that it is a thing here, okay? And that's, another thing. If you're, I'm not liable for any of this stuff, all right? So, but this is for educational purposes in full. All right, so I will see you at another time. Watch my other videos, and I'll talk to you then. Bye.